So I was actually thinking about making this video in like the last week or so because I looked at the clock and I realized like yeah I need to get to this thing while it's still relevant because I knew that the pictures from the latest Super Sentai series Avataro Sentai Dan Brothers would be popping up sometime like mid to late December. I'm like yeah I need to get this done. And then lo and behold today the official teaser poster for Dan Brothers popped up, which I have not seen. Which don't tell me la 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 la. I can't hear you la la la. Obviously, I'm going to be doing I'll be doing a first reaction to the toys when the toy pictures pop up. Then I'll be doing a reaction video. But like, I haven't actually looked at the poster. Like, I saw that it's there, and I'm like, okay, time's a waste, Ava. You need to get this taken care of. So, yeah, that's why I'm making this video today. Well, there's actually a second reason, but whatever. I told you another little white lie in that I said I hadn't bought this when in fact I had bought it. I actually bought this back in April, and it's so that means it's been sitting here for 9 months, 8 months, 8 months at this point. It's been sitting in my room for 8 months unopened. This is just how my brain operates. Okay, so whatever. I was saying, oh yeah, oh I like this design. Oh I don't like that thing. So I've been doing that for 8 months, and I'm only just now opening it. The combined set of the DX Zenkaiger. Is it like Kikai Sentai or Kikai Kata or whatever? I don't I honestly don't. So yeah, I've got the combined DX Zenkaiger. I wanted to buy these individually, but by the time I actually kicked myself in the ass hard, because I'm always late to the party. That's just how I operate. By the time I realized, yeah, I want to start collecting them, they'd already been sold out in a bunch of different stores. And so I ended up going to eBay and paying almost $200, including shipping and handling, to get this. So did I get ripped off? We'll find out together. Just hope the batteries haven't burned out on them. It's a pretty darn good bet that as soon as I'm done reviewing these, or reviewing, yeah, I'm not going to review these things. The review for this is not happening. Okay, yeah, that's the other reason why I delayed on this, because like I wanted to do a review on CDX, and I actually said this last year in 2000, no, I said it earlier this year when I got my hands on the, oh, what's it called, the Kiramasian. I said, oh yeah, I've got this itch to review. I've got this itch. I want to review something. I want to review something that's new and relevant. So another reason why I got this combined set is so I could review the whole thing all at one time and I wouldn't have to worry about it. I was going to review this for CDX, but it didn't happen. So yeah, I mean, there's nothing to say that I can't still do it. It's just that's the other reason why I wanted to get this, and it's also why I kept it quiet for 8 months because like, by the time I unbox it and do all those things, and then I want it to be a surprise that I'd gotten this. I want it to be a surprise, like, whoa, Ava didn't say anything in an unboxing. Well, that's because I was saving for a surprise, and I waited 8 months to unbox. So chances of me doing doing a review at this point slim to none. I still have the itch, just once again late to the party as usual. So I wonder if this comes in a single box or two. One cardboard thingy or two. I don't know. Oh, it comes in two. Okay. Yeah, because they ordinarily ship separately. Oh, that's convenient. Okay. And am I going to need the instructions? I don't know. But I'll bring them along anyways, just in case. Oh, yeah, I was talking about batteries. I already know how these things operate. So, like, the chances of me keeping the batteries in this thing are slim to none. So, like, this will probably be the only time where I listen to it and, like, and it's just going to be doing that for like the 3-4 minutes it takes for me to actually combine the damn thing. Although to be fair, I'm kind of glad they're actually stored in robo mode, so that they're combined form, I guess. So that's kind of a good thing. Or maybe it was doing it through the mail. Oh, they actually are different colors. Oh, there's a little pull tab. That's the last thing I'm going to pull on that, so I'm just saying. Huh. I thought that the alternate colors were. I thought that the two different color tones were. Um, I thought that those were just like the difference between the different colored plastics. That's what I thought it was. But no, it turns out they actually were different colors. Huh, okay. So where's the batteries? The batteries are there. LR44s, of course. Two LR44s. Okay. Here it is again. Another Super Sentai where I've only seen maybe a handful of the first episodes and then I just walked away from it. I kept telling myself, Ava, you need to watch the show. It's the 45th anniversary of Super Sentai. Why are you not watching it? Well, I think it's the tonal shift of the series. I'm sorry, the franchise, the direction they've been going. It feels, and I actually first noticed it when I was watching the Ninja. That's not to say it wasn't earlier, but just I first noticed it with the Ninja. It seemed like Bandai Plex Toei were aiming for a younger audience with Super Sentai. It just, and I could feel it in the way that here's the shield, garbage shield, tiny piece of shit. May have been worth bringing up. It just pegs together with friction. That's it. All right then. Does it even snap together? Sure. Oh, okay. There we go. Yeah, it does snap. And then that's friction. All right. So yeah, there's the shield. Whatever. Anyways, I saw I think maybe like 7 or 8 episodes of Zenkaiger, and then I just dropped it. I couldn't be bothered. It's like they're trying to make anime in live action. And this is Japan attempting to turn anime into live action. It's not just, and to be clear, it's not just Zenkaiger that's been doing that. It's been going all the way back to, uh, what's that called? Ninja is where I first noticed it. And I also felt it in Q Ranger. I felt that the way that was doing that, but although Q Ranger came after Ninja, but still, I just Super Sentai's always been aimed at kids. It's always been like I found out about Power Rangers when I was 11 years old. Actually, I was almost 11 years old when I found out about Power Rangers, and it was aimed at 6 to 8 year olds then. So I've always been outside of the age bracket for these series. And then when I discovered Super Sentai, I was like, one of the key ingredients that turned me into what used to be called, they used to be called a Sentai snob. That's what I am. I've always, once I learned about Super Sentai, I immediately converted. Like there was just no question in my mind. It was just so much more mature than Power Rangers, and I always felt that. But it wasn't an issue until, I keep saying it, Ninja. It wasn't an issue until then. Then it became a problem where just the tone of the show. I got about halfway, maybe 2/3 of the way through Ninja, and I was beating my brains in almost every time. I was actually MST3King the show with a couple of others. We were watching it, and it was a struggle. It was a real struggle to watch that show, and I'm kind of glad it pulled out towards the end of the series because from what I heard, it wasn't. Ninja is actually one of the lesser rated shows, so I was kind of beating myself up for no reason. Whatever. But even if I wasn't, I just felt that Super Sentai, and I've tried to watch a number of other shows. I watched. I suppose I should make the effort to watch Lupin versus Pat Ranger. I should make the effort to watch Go Busters. There's a number of them that I do want to watch, but I just feel like Zenkaiger in particular was very. I'm not going to say immature because that's derogative, but like very childish, or at least more childish. Like it feels like they're aiming for an even younger audience than when I got into it. That's what it feels like right now. You have to attach the arms to Juran. So I just felt that Super Sentai's just been like the shows, which I actually was watching. I bought 10 out of the 11 Super Sentai series that the Toy Factory, yeah, Shout Factory released. I bought most of them, or no, I bought all but one. The only one I don't have right now is Jetman. That's the only one I don't have. So, um, let's see, how do I want to do this? I think I'll go to. Wow, that just pops up so easily. Oh, it snaps into one position but not the other. Nice one, Jiren. His head, very visible. The most visible head syndrome that I've ever seen on a Super Sentai Robo, by the way. Right there. And I was. Where am I reaching? Okay. It's hard to get in there. It goes down easily enough, but it doesn't snap into position. But it does snap into position very easily there. Huh? And I'm going to wait to pull that as late as I possibly can because I don't want it going Zenkai! Da, na, 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 na. I don't want it to do that. But I tried watching Zenkaiger and I only got 7 or 8 episodes in. So I don't know what to say. I wasn't feeling the homages. Well, like they were there. By the way, shoulder joint that moves out to the side. That's lovely. And by the way, in case you're wondering, here are the directions. So I'm doing this blindly. In terms of like homages that the show was doing for let's see, I wonder if I can close this fast enough that I can pull the battery but not have it make a noise. Nope. In terms of watching the show and God, the most visible head syndrome in Super Sentai history ever. It's so stupid. And the only reason it's like that is because of that goddamn battery. Okay, so I'm just gonna close this up. And say, yeah, I'm not. I didn't watch Zenkaiger. I didn't. I got about as far as the introduction of. It's not the Battle Fever Robo. It's the evil Battle Fever Robo. I'll say. I got as far as that, and then I got to the point where like 12 or 14 previous Super Sentai Robos all pop up on screen at the same time. And I'm like, holy shit! I can't believe they've had all those around for 30, 40, 45 years. I couldn't believe it. So, yeah. This is really bad. This is really bad. Anyways, here's a Kikanoid Juran or Juran. See, I'm kind of give up with the show. Give up with the show at this point. Like, maybe I'll talk about it later. I don't know. No knee joints. God, this is awful. Holy shitballs. And by the way, here are the instructions. Still close up. Haven't looked at them. So I figured out how to do it that way. I mean, to be fair, and I said this before in my initial reaction, at least these things transform. Like, despite the fact that it's got the chomping. Enough of that. Despite, oh yeah, you're supposed to lift up the head like that. So that's how it roars. It's got even more visible head. So yeah. But anyways, yeah, this looks awful. This looks awful, 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 awful. And by the way, waffle, 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 lol, 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 waffle, waffle, lol, 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 lol. So yeah. He's got the just the tiniest of claws right here. And you can, I guess you could call this waist articulation on a dinosaur. Whoops. Does this count? Waist articulation on a dinosaur? So yeah, this is very compromised. Very, very, very compromised. Um, this is just. And if it wasn't for the fact that the sound compartment, and actually the sound and battery is right there, I was mistaken in my initial analysis. I thought that this section right here had the batteries. I was mistaken. Oh well. I didn't know how the head transformed at the time, so whatever. But still, the only reason you've got visible head syndrome, that's how it transforms, by the way. The only reason we have visible head syndrome is because there's a battery and sound. There's an electronics compartment sitting right there. That's the only reason we've got it. And Gaon doesn't have to worry about that, but Juran does. So, bleh. So yeah, this is proper garbage right here. This is proper garbage. Does he actually balance? Yeah, he does, surprisingly. Like, I thought it'd be so front heavy that it would just tip over, but like, no, he actually, the legs are actually sit in the right spot. You can get away with that. So, and technically waist articulation. I guess that's, let's see, get the knot shield out of there. Why do they even bother with this? I'm just saying. Does this flip forward? Yeah, it does. It resists. Um, yeah, here's waist articulation on a dinosaur. So that's literally the only posability you can get away with, because the hips are tied together, and each foot is individual only because the legs are split apart. That's the only reason why these can move. It's the only reason. So yeah, this is a brick. Technically, it's a brick, and I guess you can lift up the head. I guess you can do that. So yeah, this what was it? Maxilla said the animal, or the animal moans were phoned in. Like, yeah, they were. And freaking visible head syndrome. And Juran, your head crest, like, as much as I like the design of your head, returning, that crest just does not want to stay down. So irritating. So there's Juran. It was a really, really difficult thing uh, to do the 45th Super Sentai anniversary, and how are you going to pay homage to previous Super Sentai? That was a really difficult thing for them to do. I'm not going to like. How can you top what they did in Gokaiger 10 years ago, almost 11 years ago at time of filming? How do you top that? Where you literally turn into the Rangers and then use the powers of the Rangers, and then you have more than one cameo by a former Ranger. How can you, and then the Zords? Did I say Zords? I'm sorry. The Mecha, or the Gokai machine, are recreations of a number of Mecha that are used with the Gokaio. How can you possibly do better than that? And that was for that was for the 35th anniversary they did that. Like, how do you top that? The answer is you can't really. Because, the actors get older, and it's the stunt suits are worn out, and they're not designed to last for more than 1 year. It's just not possible. So you'd essentially have to rebuild all of those costumes, and you'd have to make new special effects. You can only do the photoshopping in, or whatever it is, the video editing equivalent. You can only do that so much. Like, they did that. They really, really worked for that with the Gokaiger movie. But, like, we didn't care because it was incredible. We knew what they were doing. But that being said, um, you can only do that so many times. And so, looking at and then we had the massive disappointment of Juoger. Massive disappointment. Which was just like, the less I think about it, the better. How can you possibly do an homage for the 45th? Because keep in mind, folks, the next one coming up is going to be in 4 years. It's going to be the 50th anniversary of Super Sentai. How do you do how can you beat what Gokaiger did for the 35th anniversary? How do you beat that? How do you succeed that? How do you make it greater than what Gokaiger did? Well, what you do is you have essentially ghost versions of the Sentai heroes, and you summon their powers, and you use them for really, really, really stupid things, like doing jump rope or just going choo 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 across water. Like, really? That's the great power of a Sentai, is to go choo choo. Choo choo, stand behind each other and do this. Choo choo, choo choo. That's your homage? Really? So yeah, when Zenkaiger started doing that, and that was in the first episode. That was with Jiran, by the way, in the first episode, or was it second episode? First or second episode they did that. I'm like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. It was one of the lamest. Gokaiger set the bar so high. And then you had the 40th anniversary, which was Cubes, that didn't even do a wink or a nod or a nothing to the previous 39 Super Sentai series. And that was it. That was it. Like I said, after about 7 or 8 episodes of this nonsense, even with that stand-in, which is where I left off, which was a pretty doggone neat idea, I should point out, even with that, I barely recognized it as a Battle Fever robot. Like, I know what the Battle Fever robot looks like, and to be fair, I'm not a big fan of the Battle Fever robot. It's just never been something I've been interested in. So, it doesn't transform, it doesn't combine. Yeah, just there are other reasons, but eh. But anyways, I just I'm done with Zenkaiser, the show. Just don't care. And here are the instructions. Still haven't opened them. Still haven't looked. Actually, yes, I can look. No way. There's no way they did this twice in 2 years. Now I'm curious. There's no way they did that twice. Everything's just been put on hold. Excuse me a moment. There's no way they did this 2 years in a row. When I unboxed the DX Kirmasian and said I'm effectively done, one of the reasons I did that. Here's Vrumajin. Yay. You've got to be kidding. Those are the only instructions? In the whole thing, that's it? Oh my god. Okay, so one of the reasons I was stunned, and you can watch my video when I realize, I'm like, what the fuck? One of the things I noticed is that the instructions only told you how to take it from how it appeared in the box and then combine it into the robot mode, and that was it. It did not teach you how to change them into the gem mode, and it didn't teach you that they did not tell you in the instructions how to go from the packaged shipped version into gem mode or into vehicle mode. It said it's just strictly into combined form, and that was it. And it also didn't even acknowledge that the two separate mages were there. So because technically DX Kirmasian is a quad changer. Technically it is, okay? Which is bizarre as it sounds, but like whatever. Kirmasian is a quad changer? But the instructions only told you how to take it from the box into the fully combined form of Kirmasian by itself. The instructions were useless because the back of the box didn't tell you how to combine things, how to change this. You had to look at like, oh, okay, that's how it works. And now, 1 year later, in the second year of pandemic, history's literally repeating itself. History is literally repeating itself. I cannot believe that this has just happened. All that the instructions do is they tell you where to attach limbs, because the limbs of both Jura and Gaon are, or Juran and Gaon, you have to attach the arms, and it doesn't tell you how to do this. And then it tells you how to take the two halves and smack them together. That's it. That's all. Oh, and also tells you how to replace the batteries. That's it. That's all that these instructions tell you. I cannot believe this has happened 2 years in a row now. What was the one before Kirmasian? Or Kirmager? What was the series before that? Was that Lupat? Yeah. Like, those were simple enough. You didn't need instructions, but the fact that the instructions didn't tell you. Look at this. They're blank. And it gets worse. So far as I can tell, it's just this one set of instructions, and that I thought that Juragaon DX Zenkaiger Juragaon, which is what I've just now boxed, I thought that this was going to have its own pair of instructions, and then Vrumajin, which is pink and purple, I thought, or pink and blue, I'm sorry, were going to have its own set of instructions. I was mistaken. This is the only instructions they've got. Now they show a midway transformation for each of them, kind of. I mean, they just kind of show the mouth opening here and the mouth open here, and then they show side modes of the vehicle modes. I mean, it's all the stock footage that we saw, okay? So it's basically all that stock footage over there. That's what it shows on the box here. That's literally the only way you know how to transform these things. The only reason that I knew how Kikanoid Jiran transforms is because I'd seen the show and I'd seen reviews, and I also had enough experience to, okay, this goes here and this goes there. I could figure it out. But little 4-year-old, 5-year-old, 6-year-old, I seriously doubt. Well, I mean, they might. I mean, I might have been able to, but the point is, the instructions don't tell you anything. A, why are you even bothering to include them? B, why don't you just put them on the box while you're at it? It's not on the side. It's not on the bottom. Yeah, there's no way to know how to transform these things unless you've watched the show. And even then, considering the pacing of the transformations and whatever, they don't tell you how to transform these things. I was bragging earlier, like, yeah, I could transform it without, I could transform without looking at the instructions. Because I'm 39 years old. What about somebody who's 4 or 5 or 6 years old? All it tells you. And then in the combined set like this, which is obviously they're combined like this for collectors. That's why they do it this way, because we don't want to bother with getting them separately. Let's just get them in one pack and call it good. I can't believe this happened 2 years in a row. I cannot believe this happened 2 years in a row. I don't believe it. I do not believe that happened twice. That was something that I complained about. I said, what the hell's going on? I thought it was just 2020. But now I find out it's also 2021. Now, I'm going to be able to figure out how to transform this thing fine enough. But on the other hand, I'm 39 years old. Hell is going on over there? Seriously. Okay, what was I talking about before that thing exploded in my face? What was that? Holy shit, by the way. Holy shit balls. Look how narrow that is right there. Look at that. See how narrow that is? My, oh my. Yow! Oh, I'm sorry, it was in shadow. I'll do it again. Yow! You're welcome. Oh, and then I gotta split the legs. Woohoo! So here is Gaon. This is Gaon. My mind has been blown with the thing. By the way, no tail. I have the distinct impression that lions have tails. Yeah, there's no tail here. Look at the way this thing hangs out in the back. Jesus Christ, they couldn't put any thickness in there or anything. Let's see, do I pull or do I slide? I pull. Okay. So can it be done here as well? Oops. Oh, no, they're specifically designed that way. Oh, they're different. Okay. All right. They're different. All right. So you cannot get one or the other to. Well, I don't know. We'll see in a moment here. I thought I felt that Gaon's uh, legs could. I mean, yeah, they do slide forward, but. Let's see. Can I get it to snap here? Oh, they do snap here. Snaps there. Snaps there. So it's every 45 degrees. But still, that's officially how it works. Wow. And that right there is why I hesitated. And then there's this whole thing, and then again the legs are tied together, so you cannot pose them individually, but you can get them apart like that. So okay. Now to be fair, sticking this claw arm up here in order to hide the face. Oh, by the way, there's the head right there. That's fine. That is acceptable. That's good. That's what I should have done. You should have had the shield. If they hadn't had those fucking electronics in there, wouldn't have been a problem. You would have heard nothing from me. And as I understand it, the only time you use those electronics is there's the battery reset. Interesting. The only time they use the sound effects is for combining. That's it. As far as I'm aware, there's no button on here that I can press. And oh, by the way, I should point out, it's not like the instructions tell me where I can access those sound effects or not. As far as I'm aware, the only time that the sound effects kick off is when the only time that I'm aware of that the sound effects kick off is when I do this. That's the only time. And then the other time is when you do this. But there's no button anywhere on here. There's no button on the other side. There's no nothing for me to press anywhere. Might have to go look for it a little bit, but yeah. The only time that those sound effects go off is when you're combining it. You cannot get access to them when it's in animal mode or alternate mode, I guess. You can't get access to them then. You can't get access to it when he's transformed into his Kikanoid mode. You can't access the sound effects when it goes to Zenkai when it turns into Zenkaiger. The only time those sound effects appear is when you're combining it. Okay, to be fair, I did not get Zenkaiger Jiragon. I did not get this for their animal modes. Okay, that's not why I got them. So I want that on the record. That's not the reason why I got these things. Okay, like it's like, oh, it's a Tyrannosaurus and it's a lion. What do you fucking do? But they transform. It's an interesting transformation, but goddamn, Bandai Plex. Fuck. Oh yeah, I guess I was talking about posability. So these are Gaon's shoulder joints, which are doubling for the animal mode. But then, yeah, that doesn't snap anywhere except for up and down. And does it flip all the way? No, it does not. Yeah, so only snaps to the two positions. That's it. So what you can, I guess you could do like this. Is that posability? Is he posed? I don't even. Yeah. And you can't have him like crouching. You can't even do a proper, lion cub thing or whatever it is. I guess you could put these forward so he's like, there it is. His butt's in the air. There it is. Hey, look at this. He's crouched. He's on the prowl. He's hunched down and he's ready to pounce on something. There you go. Congratulations, you just found a posability option. I mean, don't get me wrong, Super Sentai Robos, when they're separated, are not well known for the posability, but, like, that being said, you could give us something. Okay. I don't remember, just because I didn't watch that far on the show, I don't know if the Kikonoids form their individual robot forms in when they're giants. I don't know. Like they very much they can fight like this, but I don't know if they can fight as robos or whatever it is. So, oh, that's interesting. I just noticed there's a detail on Gaon where he's got these three claws here, because why not? But then I noticed I followed the detail over. Looks like there's a pair of cannon barrels or faux cannon barrels right there, or something like that. Hmm. So, anyways, let's move on to Jiran. The first thing you do is you remove his crotch. You remove the crotch of the dinosaur, and then you take his tail off. Let's see. Is that like that? Yes. Okay. God, this is so whatever. And then the mask that's already lifted itself up like 8 times at this point. Float that up. And there is the Kikonoid Jiran. Jiran, whatever. Gow. Which, now that I've actually got it in hand, I understand why it's so thick on the front and back. Like, okay, I don't like it, but like I can live with it. But these feet are just, I'm sorry, it's all in shade. These feet are just, what the hell? Can't really blame them for trying, but like, at least they kind of tried to get rid of the T-Rex arms. If only the T-Rex arms could like moved out of the way or something like that. And then, oh boy, here comes the shield. And the only way it attaches, if I understand correctly, see, can it actually attach to... Oh, I wonder if it can. Gee, if only I had some instructions to tell me whether it could do this or not. Can I actually attach this on the side? No. I guess not. Okay, so the only thing you can do is attach the shield on top of the arm. That's where you attach the shield. So it's like that. That's how it holds the shield. So even though there's a hole for the hand right there, see? There's a hole for the hand, it doesn't get used. Gee, if only I had the instructions that could show me, where I can actually pose it or something like that. But nope, it just shows, it's just that one stock photo, and that's it. That's the only picture you get. And the instructions don't say anything at all. So his sword actually has two handhold points. There's one here, and then there's one here. One is, oh, I think one is larger than the other, so they don't give you choice, which is fine. Although I wish, honestly, I wish that like this handle had been able to flip open better or something like that, because really all you end up doing is it just has a really large guard that it's hanging on to. Ooh, get in there. Oh, wow. There it is. And then you see the rest of the sword's just hanging off the side. So it's like he's holding the sword off center. Instead of the sword being, parallel to his hand or whatever it is, the sword is actually off center. You know? Eh. Oh, you know what this is? This is, sorry about that. If I hadn't addressed it right then and there, he would not have shut up about it. So it just occurred to me 3 minutes ago just before I had to answer the phone, it occurred to me that the way the sword is being held reminds me very much of the dragon sword from oh, the DX Gosei Great. You know, because the handle was off center from where the blade is. So, yeah. And ironically, this has some interesting posability to it. Let's see, can I do that? No, I cannot. Can I do that? No, I cannot. The arm's ratchet every 45 degrees. Actually, it's a very tight snap. I'm not quite certain why they snap so tightly, whatever. And then, surprise of surprises, the head can turn side to side without using a transformation. Actually, technically, yes, it is a transformation joint. But anyways, yeah, the head can turn side to side. So you can pose him like this, or you can pose him like this. And look at me, he's holding a shield that might be doubling as a claw. I don't know. Why did they even bother? Just okay. I wonder if that's an abdominal piece. Or maybe it's a crotch plate. I don't know. Actually, no, technically it is a crotch plate. It's a crotch plate for the dinosaur. It is. It is. It's a crotch plate for the dinosaur. I suppose I would be negligent if I didn't make this comparison at some point. This is... How old are you? You got to be almost 30 years old. No, you're... What, 27 or 20? Yeah, I think this is 27 years old at this point. No, it'd be 28 years old. This toy is 28 years old. And this is the Power Rangers version, by the way, in case you didn't notice it from the shoulders and the poorly designed decals or whatever. Although, to be fair, this decal is actually better than the one they had in the US. But, yep, there it is right there. It's almost 28 years difference right there. I love it. Yeah, I can't deny, like as awkward and ugh, as this thing is, it just it there's just enough in here that makes me says, okay, I forgive you. And by the way, I only realized a little bit ago. This pattern right here is almost the same as the teeth right here from the transformation. That never occurred to me until a couple of minutes ago when I was looking. I was like, oh, the jagged pattern here and the jagged pattern there. Ironically, the teeth do not line up. The pattern here, like it comes down to a point here, is not the same because it actually, let's see, it actually points upwards. The center tooth points upwards. So yeah, it's almost the same, but not quite. They could have done that, but yeah, whatever. Why can't it hold the shield from the front? You know, that's all I want it to do. Hold the shield from the front. Is that so difficult? Apparently so. Can I sneak this in here? Gee, if only I had the instructions to tell me one way or the other. Well, it can, but it also can't. Can I sneak this in here? No. Yeah, it can't. I don't know what these obviously these tabs. This tab over here. There's another one on the other side. Obviously, these are designed for combining later on. Not certain how. But anyways, yep. Although to be fair, it is nice to have the sub mecha have humanoid forms. Even if they are triple changers, it is nice to see that again. I mean, to be fair, it is nice to have that happen again. And now it's time for Gaon. Gao! And that all the way back like that. And then all the way forward like that. Take this off, and how do I get the head out? Yeah, Bandai? Plex, how do I get the head out of here? I hope I not to grab it from the side. Do I open the mouth? No. How do I get the head out of here? I don't know. Gee, if I had instructions to tell me. Okay, so there's a little tab right there. You fold the little point of his head. I guess you pull up on that. Yeah. Does it snap in place? Yes, it does. Okay. Does the head turn? No, it does not. So they'll have the head turn because of a fucking stupid laziness. The only reason the head turns is because they were lazy about the electronics. Very lazy electronics. But then they totally can't be bothered to have the head turn on Gaon. And then this is very clear. You attach the shield claw thingy to the left side. Split the legs. And there you have Gaon. Gaon. With feet that don't look quite as ridiculous. Yeah, they're nowhere near as bad. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's still got a black pack, and that's all well and good. He's still got this, so whatever. Face is nice enough. It's almost like they couldn't decide whether to give it a mouth or kind of a toothy, kind of look on it. It seems like they couldn't decide what they wanted to do, so they just kind of went for a mouth plate that does all of those things. It's a mouth plate that has a toothy pattern, but the mouth is not open. So he's just kind of grimacing or growling, and that's kind of it. So now because it's a shield and it's not a vambrace. It's a gauntlet shield or it's a gauntlet claws or whatever it is. It's acceptable to have the claws mounted on the side. That is and by the way, I should point out the only reason that this exists, to my knowledge, the only reason that this exists is to hide the head. If it wasn't for the fact that they needed to hide the head, this would not exist. Think about that for a moment. It's the only reason it exists. And really, that's not so bad. The way the head is fit in there, like I could actually live with the fact that it's like visible head syndrome, but it's hidden enough, or it's streamlined enough you can't see it. I could actually live like that. So in a weird way, this actually becomes excessive, which is why it's called an accessory. But then you have to put all the stress onto the central horn here in order to lift it out. Okay. And just like with Jiran, Gaon's arms ratchet tightly every 45 degrees. And that's it. And then I guess if you want to, you can pull out the lion arms or the animal mode arms if you want to do that. Yay. Which, they look nice. Whatever. They're too hollow from the front. I didn't really comment on it earlier. Too hollow, but whatever. So this is the case with Sub Mecha. Are the legs the same though? The lower legs are the same. Actually, the legs, period. With the exception of the fists, or the fist for Zenkaiger. Yeah, the legs are almost the same. The fists are obviously reversed, so. Or fist is split down the middle, so. Crotch plates are, or no, that's not fair. For the lower waist, the pelvis is the same as well. Okay. Whatever. Right. And just in case you're wondering, yes, I also did pull out my 20th or 25th. Isn't it the 25th? Yeah, this is his 25th anniversary. It says so right on the front of his head there. It says 25. How about that? So here you go, size comparisons there. Actually, I can put that a little closer to the screen. How about that, folks? A yellow lion as opposed to a red lion. I suppose it would have been awkward to have a red Tyrannosaurus, considering every single Tyrannosaurus in Super Sentai has always been red. Whatever. Yep. There you go. There's our first two Kikonoids. Hmm. Boy, the way the whole the whole Zenkaiger mecha line turned out. It's weird. Why did they even introduce Kikonoids if they're only going to use it for one robo out of all of them? I don't get it. Is it Kikonoids or Kikainoid? I don't know. Okay. And by the way, for the record, I've done all this again without the instructions. I just want you to know about that. And it's been over half a year now. It's been 8 months since I did the research on these or whatever it is, and I was still able to figure it out. I don't know. Should I even bother? Nah, I'm not gonna bother. So, yeah. So when he's a Kikonoid, he's like that. Actually, I'm gonna turn the arm sideways. So you're just gonna flip this 180 degrees, rotating the hips at the same time. Put those together. Fold those back. And then, because it's safe on this one, because Gaon does not have electronics in it, I can do this right now. And then flip this out like that. So this is ready. I wonder if this goes on his... Oh, I didn't even think to check that. If this like gets stored on his back or something. Let me check real quick. Gee, if only I had the instructions. Can I attach this? Oh, okay, alright. So you can attach the claw to his back if you so desire. Can I attach it the other direction? I don't know. Yes, you can. So you can attach Gaon's gauntlet claw shield thingy. You can attach it to his back, whether it's upright or down like this. Which means I should also check with Jiran if I can also store the weapons on that as well. I wonder if I could store... maybe. I'll check that when I'm done here. I do know you can attach it to the Zenkaiger. You can attach it to Zenkaiger's hand like that, so whatever. So I'll put that aside. And then this thing, let's see, does this... Oh! Okay, alright. That's what these are for. Alright. And they line up with that. Okay, yeah. So these actually have identical slots in the back. There's the slot here, and on the opposite side there's a slot there. And then the shield has exactly the same thing. There's a slot here, which is identical to the slot on the other side. Okay, so you can store the shield in exactly the same. Really? Did I jump that twice? Why'd they even bother with this? What's the point of having this shield, really? And that just snaps in like that. Okay, so you can store the shield on his back downwards. Can you also store it upwards? Yes. Yeah. So you could store the shield on his back. I didn't know that. The other question is, though, can I store his sword on his back out of the way? And no, I don't know if they do that. I don't remember if they do that in the show or not, where they store the weapons on them. There are a pair of suspicious-looking tabs right there. Gee, if only I had the instructions to tell me this thing. Tell me whether I could do this or not. Nope, does not fit there. Does it peg in to either side? No, it does not. Does it peg in on the top? No. I suppose you could just like rest it there. The answer is no. So snap those together. Fold that down even though it's going to pop up seconds later. And it's just this tiny little tilt. That's all it is. Which is nice. I mean, if it was just to hide the head, that would, or to hide the face and then the head disappears, yeah, that would be was one thing. Oh yeah, I forgot this is going to trigger as soon as I pop this open. So I got to choose my timing carefully. Because this thing does not shut up once it gets going. So the transformation's pretty much identical with the exception of the head. Actually, yeah, now I'm going to deal with the head. So you can see there's a joint right there, and the entire head platform swings down like that. Actually, it swings 180. How about that? Or does it? Does it snap? Oh, it does snap there. Does it snap there? Yes, I think it does. Okay. Oh, look, his mask popped up again. How about that? Big old obnoxious speaker right there. Look at that thing. And again, no buttons. The only time that it makes sound is when it's combining, and that's it. Anyways, so it starts like this. Move this all the way around 180. Does not snap into place. And then turn this around. Nope, nope, nope. I'm sorry. I did that wrong. Flip that around. And then these flip around. And then I will also flip this one out like that. Okay. Now, once I proceed from this point, this thing is not going to shut up until I get the two together, okay? So be aware of that. It's not going to shut up from this point forward. You can fully transform Gaon, but not Jiran. Jiran it's going to da 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 the whole time, okay? This is why I'm going to be removing the batteries as soon as I'm done with this unboxing. I did it wrong. Oh, it shut up. Oh, it shut up. I didn't know that. Okay, so I was mistaken on one thing. I thought that both of Jiran's and Gaon's arms were supposed to be down. I was mistaken. You're supposed to flip the shield, or the arm that has the crest. You're supposed to flip that one upwards. My mistake. I mean, it's not like the instructions told me that or anything. So one of the arms flips up, the other arm flips down. The arm on the back that ends up on the back of Zenkaiger, that arm goes down. The arm that goes on the front flips up. And the face mask popped up again. Where were we? I went into panic mode because, like, it seems to be the thing that turns the sound effect off is you split the thing apart, and it wasn't doing it. So I was like, okay, yeah. Okay. And his mask popped open again. You know, I wonder if it's possible to flip his head around on the neck. Maybe. Maybe. Yeah. Of course, the disadvantage with the left arm specifically is you can't fold the arm. Oops. You can't point the arm backwards. It won't let you because Jiran's head is right there. Whether it's facing forward or backwards, irrelevant. Let's see, and then his head is completely covered. Okay. So yes. Oops, I didn't. There we go. Okay. So it's both at the top and at the bottom. Okay. And there you have Zenkaiger Jiran Gaon. Ba-da-na-na-na-na. He's a stocky guy. Nice. I am so glad the arms can go up to 90 degrees. Like, at the very least, they can go up to 90 degrees. Oh, wait, they can totally go up to 180. And then I can go beyond with Giran's arm. Oh, I can keep going. Okay, so I can get... Let's see, that'd be 280. Yeah, you can get 280 degrees out of Giran's arm. Or the left arm. You can get 200... No, I'm sorry, 270? Yeah, 270 degrees. Okay, whatever. And then you get a full 360 out of Gaon's arm. Looking at the arms like this again, it totally feels like the Muteki Shogun all over again, which I do have over there, but like I didn't even think to pull it out, so whatever. That's a pretty large gap in the legs. Oh, I guess they would want it to do that. The face is not bad. They solved the problem that any symmetrical docking mecha has to deal with. They solved the problem of literally taking the head of the robo and having a big old split right down the middle, and having the two halves split apart or whatever. So they actually solved that problem here, and I want to say Super Sentai has had to address that in a previous. I can't think of what it was, but there was a case where like the head literally splits right down the middle. And so they actually solved that problem here. Oh god, is it going to make the noise when I take it apart? I hope not. Come on. Okay, it doesn't make noise. So they solved that problem by having the crest from Jiran just be that. So it's only half of the helmet. Okay? So there's half of the helmet there. And then on Gaon is the actual faceplate, nose, and eyes. I know you can't see it very well, but yeah. So that's how they solved the problem. So in other words, why is that button there? Why is there a button here? I'm suddenly very concerned. Oh, maybe that's the one that tells it it's done. Huh, I wonder why that's there. Well, maybe it's for a different combined form, maybe. I don't know. If you want to know how it knows, Juragaon, how it knows which one's which, there's a tiny, very, very tiny, you might be able to see the pixels right there. There's a little tab that sticks out right there, which directly interacts with his mask. It's come undone again. It interacts with these three buttons right here. There's these three holes right here. So that's how it knows. So basically you can hack this toy and find out what the other combined forms are by basically pressing on one of those. Now there's three buttons to choose from. So the front one is Juragaon. Really? I don't want to put... Gotta work for this one. I wonder why it didn't work. I don't think it makes... Does it make the announcement thing? I don't know. I think it does. And his mask came undone again because it won't fucking snap into... Huh? Huh? What? How? What was I pressing? I was pushing on his head. Huh? What the... So there's a button here I'm not aware of. The whole rant and raving... How does it know? Oh crap, it's gonna make the noise again. How does it know? I'll have to investigate that later. Because, like, I was pushing down on Duran's mask, and it started making noises. How does it know? Look, his mask came off again. Gee, if only the instructions told me what to do with this thing, I would know the answer. There's only one picture of each of the robo modes, so I don't know. I can't even comment on the aesthetics or anything like that because I'm totally distracted right now. How did it know? Darn it. Shut up. You know, this right here is why I'm going to remove those batteries as soon as I'm done. Because, like, it just... Gow! But I want to know... I was pushing on that one area... I was pushing down on his mask, and then it goes... Juran! And then it says... Gaon! You know, I might actually have to look up a review to figure out how it did that. Also, it's kind of obnoxious in how it... Like... I flipped these open and closed a couple of times, and it still didn't, finish the transformation, which makes me think maybe there's a quality control thing where the trigger that's on the inside that tells the thing that it's done transforming is like not working properly or something. That's a guess. But how the hell did it know I had them put together? I mean, I'm really puzzled by this. Is there a button that I'm not aware of? I think it might be time for me to look up a review, so I'll be back in a few minutes. Hold on. Well, now the damn thing won't shut up. Something on the shoulders, maybe? There's something loose in here. Definitely something loose in here. Okay, maybe it's a quality... Dude, I'm like touching it with like featherweight and it's going off. What the fuck? Huh? Now it won't do it. And his mask came undone again. Huh? Like a moment ago I was panicking like, oh my god, it won't shut up, and now I'm panicking because it has shut up. I think there's a loose wire somewhere in here. That was my bad. Oh no. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. This is supposed to end when you pull the two heads apart. See my problem? Oh my god. No, it just did it all by itself. This is so annoying. Gee, if only I had instructions to tell me how the damn thing works. To be fair, maybe it's my particular copy, but I spent like almost a half hour trying to figure out how this damn thing works. Okay, maybe not that long, but still, I've spent way more time on this trying to guess my way through it than like look at the instructions. Oh, there's a button here. You press this button. You see, now it's sensitive as hell. You know what? Be silent. Oh, that's what that is. Okay. You remember how I was questioning earlier how to get Gaon's head out? Well, it turns out there's a tiny, and I mean a tiny little. Let me get it in first. There's a tiny little white button, or yeah, right, tiny little yellow button right there. You push on that, and that loosens the head. That's good to know. Gee, if only I had the instructions to tell me that, so I didn't have to guess. All right, so there's the battery tab right there. This thing is going to shut up until further notice. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's neat the way it transforms, but goddamn, these electronics are just getting worse and worse and worse. And by the way, I found out if you actually leave it with an incomplete combination or whatever it is, if it's still doing this, if you leave it for long enough, eventually, fuck it. Really? Keep in mind, I'm doing this deliberately to annoy myself. You wait long enough and then the jingle changes. So now I'm going to just sit here and wait for it. Okay. So the first jingle goes, it cycles 25 times. I'm guessing that's about a half minute. And then the second one cycles 15 times. It's either cycles 10 or 15 times, I lost count. And then it just shuts itself off. So, good to know. By the way, if I touch these two, is it going to kick off again? Yeah. Oh, and right there it ended. Yeah, I think there's something's loose on Duran's side of things. Yeah, I think it's literal loose wire or a loose connection of some kind. That's what I think it is because it's random when it goes off, and it just so happens to be when I'm pressing a certain area or something like that. Like I thought, like maybe you push in on the shoulders, or maybe you push on Duran's mask, which by the way has popped up again. Maybe you open and close these. None of those things are working right now. Maybe you push on the head or attempt to twist it. You can't twist it because of the way it works. Yeah, see, right now it's perfectly quiet. Turning those, turning an arm, doesn't do anything. So there is something that's supposed to happen, but A, I don't have any fucking instructions, and B, I think it's a literal loose wire. So I've spent way more time on this than I wanted to, and I haven't even addressed the weapons on this thing. So we can take Jiren's shield and attach it to the side, and it just absolutely disappears. It is of no consequence whatsoever, but there it is. And you can attach the claw to, or the gauntlet claw to the right hand. What if you can attach it to the left? Can you? I doubt it. Well, maybe. Oh, maybe you can. Oh, you can. All right. Okay. Well, that's something. Okay. And then look at this. Like 20 minutes after I've put it together for the first time, now I'm actually showing it with the weapons attached. Oh, and then presumably attach the shield to the back. So there you go. Huzzah! Weapons storage. Woohoo! But you can put the clawed gauntlet on the left arm and the sword on the right arm, or either way, you know. So there you go. God, those electronics are frustrating. I can't imagine what Vroom has in store for me. Oh, God. Oh, hello. That's very hollow right there. That's a bit of an issue. I wonder why they did that. Oh, I know why. Just because the way it transforms. This is tiring. Pah. Still, doesn't look bad. Doesn't look. I mean, it doesn't. This is the most satisfying of the modes right here. It's this right here. He looks fine. When it's Zenkaiger Juragaon, looks fine. I've got no problem with it there. And the way the arms light up. You know, honestly, I thought that when when there's this V shape here on the front. And by the way, the crest looks very nice. I like the way they do that. Do that. I thought that because these are the arms of Jiren and Gaon, I thought that you had to do the same thing with the arms on the other side. Turns out that's not the case. The arms are actually vertical, so, or they're parallel to each other. So, okay, all right, it's fine with me. So I guess you can get some. Oh, then I guess you could attach this to the. I guess you could do that if you want to. I mean, it's dumb. So, like, instead of clawing like this, instead it's clawing like this. So, I guess you can do that. That's an option, although that's about to fall off as a result. Ah. So, yeah. Let's see, maybe I should look at the official pictures as opposed to the instructions to get my answer. God, this is so stupid. The instructions tell you, or yeah, right, instructions. The box, the official print material tells you can take the shield and you can attach it there. And again, it completely disappears. But that is what the official picture shows. So, yay. This is so weird. The two animal modes are garbage. The two humanoid modes, I can forgive them to some degree. Like, okay. And then Zenkaiger Juragaon, or Zenkaiger Juragaon is fine. That's fine. Okay, so. Wow, I spent way too long on this. Way too long on this. Let's see, can I? Oh, yes. You can also store the claw on the back, although if it were up to me, I would actually flip it around. There you go. And then have the shield attach to the side. There you go. So the shield completely disappears. This is sitting right there. So you can actually store all the weapons on it at any given point. So that's good to know. I can live with that. I'm going to be removing those batteries as quickly as I possibly can.